Another budget watch, the SteelFlier SF741, a fully stainless steel construction, a milled folding wing, sapphire crystal, and my favorite, we get the onion crown on here. So all of this for 45 bucks before tax. Seriously, like how good can these deals get? I know people are moaning AliExpress has just lost it. Really? With this price? For this quality? I don't think so. Anyway, we need to talk about this one in detail. So the link to the listing will be in the description below the video. As well as that, check out the discount codes and the link to my collection. And now let's dive in and talk about this SteelFlyer in detail. Let's kick things off with a stylistic aesthetic, because this one's got presence. Straight away, that sunburst black dial catches the eye, but the first thing I clock is that broad arrow just above the SteelFlyer logo. Now, officially, it's called the broad arrow, but you'll often hear it called the crow's foot. This mark is steeped in British military history. It was a government property mark used by the Ministry of Defence, signifying official military-issued equipment. So from the get-go, we're dealing with serious field and pilot watch heritage here. But here's the twist. This watch doesn't just play the military card, it balances that austerity with a kind of vintage elegance. You've got this fluted rounded bezel, a sunburst dial that plays beautifully with the light, and that oversized onion crown, almost whimsical in shape but still functional. These touches soften the raw utility of this watch and give it more character, more life. Now, in terms of dimensions, we're looking at a 39mm case, 12.2mm in thickness, and a lug-to-lug length of 54mm, extended due to those protruding male end links. Now, lug width is 20mm, tapering down to 18 at the clasp, keeping it balanced on the wrist. From the side, the profile tells you this case means business. Tall, horizontally brushed flanks deliver that tool watch toughness, but there's curvature as well. Subtle arching from mid-case to lug, with the lugs themselves curving downward in a hook-like fashion. It hugs the wrist more than you'd expect. Bevel transitions are smooth, yet defined, not smudged at all. The lug hoods actually flare outward slightly, adding some visual dynamism. The brush in contrast here is worth a note. Radial on the lugs, vertical on the bracelet. It does create a bit of that visual tension, and it works. It's a layered design too. You've got the lip of the screw-down case back peeking out at the bottom, and up top, a tall fluted bezel frames a thick slab of synthetic sapphire. And finally, the crown, a chunky 9.8mm onion-style screw-down, seals the whole military field pilot vibe. It's a versatile blend of ruggedness and refinement. The crown action here is crisp, tactile, and confidence-inspiring, thanks to that oversized onion-style design and sharply notched grip. Unscrewing the crown is effortless. Just a few turns and it springs out cleanly, thanks to well-calibrated threading. Inside beats the Seiko VH31 quartz caliber, with 4 vibrations per second, giving us that smooth sweeping seconds hand, reminiscent of a mechanical movement. Pull the crown out to the time-setting position, and the motion is fluid with no slack. There's no wobble, no play. Where you set the minute hand is exactly where it stays. Push it back in and screw it down. The crown locks in firmly with zero drift. Solid stuff here. Okay, we need to talk about the bracelet. So on the listing, we've got 3 strap options. We've got the tan leather strap as well as a rubber strap, and we've got this bracelet. But on the listing, it looks like the bracelet features screw pins. That's not the case. We get push links here, but that's okay. Really, at this price point, that's not an issue. But I'm just saying, watch out, because I thought, wow, we're going to get screw pins. We don't. Anyway, let's talk about the bracelet in detail. The links on this bracelet are beefy, measuring 3.5mm at the midpoint, giving off a tough utilitarian vibe. And we need to remember that the usual link thickness is around 2.5 to 3mm, so 3.5, that's really chunky. Tolerances, well, they're mediocre. There are visible gaps between the links, but again, well within reason for under 50 bucks. Link fluidity and articulation, though, are spot on. You've got a subtle taper from 20mm at the lugs to 18mm at the clasp, giving it a balanced stance. It's a 3-link design, leading into a signed clasp with a stainless steel shell, double push button release, and a solid milled folding wing. Bonus, 5 micro adjustments for that perfect fit. Flip the watch over and we've got a sterile screw-down case back with laser edge specs around the edge like 200 meters of water resistance, stainless steel, and sapphire crystal. Now let's zoom in on the real center stage, because this watch is all about contrasts that work. First up, that finely fluted bezel, tight, elegant threading that gives just enough shimmer to pull your eye in. It's the only polished element on an otherwise fully brushed case, and that deliberate break in texture, it's intentional. Floating just above it is a flat sapphire crystal, trimmed with anti-reflective coating, not overly treated though, but enough to throw a soft violet sheen when the light catches right. If we look below the crystal, past the piping down rehaut, which is actually brushed, we're met with a glossy and sunburst black dial. At the perimeter, your eye meets a bold minute track, punctuated every 5 minutes with crisp Arabic numerals. Closer in, you've got full hour numerals printed in a burnt orange beige tone. There's nothing applied on this dial. Everything is printed, staying true to the tool watch ethos. The only contrast, the white printed Steelflyer logo and broad arrow just under 12, balancing the 200 meters printed above 6. And then those hands, cathedral style, edged in white with beige lume that echoes the hour numerals. The minute hand, perfectly proportioned. It stretches all the way to the rehaut, skimming just a tad from the edge. Now, if we talk about the lume, let's remember that SteelFlier is a sub-brand of Steeldive. So the lume is green, it's bright, evenly applied, and seriously long-lasting, even though this is a printed dial. Is it a recommend? It's an easy recommend. I think the only downside is that extended lug-to-lug length, but then again, those hooking down lugs, they really do help solve that issue. And you can always pick it up on a rubber strap or the tan leather strap. So check out the affiliate link in the description below the video, as well as the discount codes and the link to my collection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.